Hello, welcome to another Chelsea video of mine. This is another Chelsea news daily video for you guys, where I'll keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours and some big news stories regarding Thomas Tuchel about his contract situation. We've been revealed some more details. Of course, he's on an 18-month contract, but there are some clauses and details that I'll be going over as well, according to a lot of reliable reports. I'll also be delving into new news, fresh stories on Upamecano, and finally I'll be speaking about the Kai Havertz situation, what Thomas Tuchel will do to fix Kai Havertz, to fix our talisman, our German superstar signing. But before I do enter, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's news daily video for you guys. And the main story is Thomas Tuchel. What must he do to earn a brand new contract at Chelsea? Now, if you delve into the reports stating that, of course, Thomas Tuchel currently is on an initial 18 months at Chelsea, and for him to earn a fresh new deal, he has to secure Champions League football for 2 years in a row. The 47-year-old, who was confirmed as Chelsea manager last week following Frank Lampard's departure, has penned a new contract until the end of the 2021/22 season. But there is an option of a further year which both parties can take. As per Sportsmail via the Daily Mail, there exist clauses in the German's contract triggering an option for him to extend his stay at Stamford Bridge if he exceeds in keeping Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League for the next 2 seasons. Tuchel has been made aware of the board's expectation on the lines of silverware by club director Marina Granovskaya following his appointment last week. Referring to Granovskaya, who's famously known among Chelsea fans as the Iron Lady, Tuchel said, as quoted by the Daily Mail, "She told me very clear that if you sign for Chelsea, you need to win trophies, definitely be competing for trophies. This club is about trophies and this club is about competing. The two most difficult competitions you can compete in are the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League." So it's very evidently clear there. Mourinho just sat down Tuchel and said, listen, right, you're given an 18-month contract. If you want to stay here long term, you've got to deliver the silverware. And of course, he has to also deliver Champions League football. And we all know the main reason why is because it brings us a lot more revenue. It allows us to attract, the best top players. If you want to attract the likes of your Haalands, your Havertzes, you have to secure Champions League football. It's as simple as that. He's obviously got Tuchel sat down and said, listen, Tuchel, yeah, I know you like Chelsea. I know you want to be here a long time. But if you do, and you don't want to be like the rest of the managers, you've got to win trophies. You've got to secure Champions League football. So there is our answer. As we said before, it was quite a short-term thing, 18 months. Of course, there is an option to extend this, so it can be extended to 2.5 years. And if we are still satisfied with Thomas Tuchel's, results, his style of football, how the direction the club is heading in, of course, we can then offer him an extension of 3 years. That's when you can get the long-term deal. So I think, yes, this is going to be huge for Thomas Tuchel. I think it's definitely achievable. Now, we don't know too much of context. When they say 2 years in a row, do they mean including this year, or do they mean next year and the year after? That we're not sure. I'm assuming, of course, that it is going to be this year and next year. And I still think, even though it's quite unfair for him to achieve top 4 this year, because of course he did join mid-season when we were 7 points off the top 4. We are starting to make ground. Results are going in our favour. We're playing really well now. We won against Burnley. Hopefully we can keep this momentum up and go on a massive run. It's definitely possible, and I think that he has time to turn it around. He has time to rectify the situation, and we can secure Champions League qualification for next season. If he gets top 4, I think he has overachieved, considering the fact that not with a squad. This squad should easily be competing for the Premier League. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is that the context of the situation, he's entered exactly mid-season, 7 points off the top 4, a club in turmoil, squad, needs to get unified. The squad was in tatters, as in, mentally, it was split, players were unhappy, there were bust-ups in the training ground. There was a sour taste after Frank Lampard left. So the fact that he's unified the squad, got them playing a fantastic attacking flow inside of football, 7 points off top 4, and the fact that you will still be able to get top 4 is a very, very good achievement. And in the fact that we might be able to get an FA Cup or go far in the Champions League, for me those are all bonuses. But I think that Thomas Tuchel can be successful at Chelsea, given he meets his objectives, given that he delivers us fans and Chelsea silverware and trophies. He will be a long term. It's as simple as that. His style of football suits the club. his character, his charisma, the way he presents himself, his confidence, aura. He's got everything to be a proper, Chelsea manager. But it's the case of all he has to do now is deliver the results, and fans will fall in love with him, and the club will have a good relationship with him. He'll have a good relationship with the hierarchy, etc., etc. But moving on to a next story, and that is on Dayot Upamecano, who I've mentioned in the past few weeks, and it has come out. This is not really a report, but the Bayern CEO, I can't pronounce his name, stating that Bayern are flexing their muscles in the race for Upamecano. The fact that Chelsea and Liverpool are also interested in him proves that he has very good qualities, and he can replace David Alaba. Rummenigge. I can't really pronounce that, but it's a good effort there. He is essentially the Bayern CEO. He's Bayern Munich CEO. He conducts all the transfers for them. And we know how Bayern are run as a football club. They're one of the most fantastically run football clubs on this planet. Amazing work from Bayern Munich. And we know the elite level of scouting they have, and the fact that they're interested in Upamecano says a lot. It says a lot about the qualities of Upamecano as a player. And essentially, the bit I just read out is what he said in a public interview. The problem I have with Bayern is whenever they try and sign a player, they always go public with it. Whereas Chelsea are the complete opposite. They're the polar opposite. They like to conduct, talks and transfers in complete secrecy. And he stated that the fact that Chelsea and Liverpool are also interested in him proves that he has a very good quality, and he can replace Sam Alaba. Meaning, of course, we know Alaba is obviously leaving Bayern Munich. So what I will say on this situation is, of course, Chelsea are not front runners for his signature. We're not first choice. Bayern Munich are leading the race. They're very, very aggressive in their pursuit for him. Liverpool interested, although they signed a couple of defenders on deadline day yesterday, but they are just short-term replacements and short-term fixes. Of course, Liverpool will be in for a world-class centre-back in the summer window. So the three main clubs are Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Chelsea. Chelsea not first choice. Chelsea not first choice. We know that it's got a release clause of 42.5 million euros, which is quite cheap for the quality and the quality of the player, the pedigree, what he's done, his age, etc. The fact that he's a ball-playing centre-back, which is quite rare. Of course, because of his cheap, release clause, it really is up to the player and the player's entourage, his agent, on where they would like to pick their next club. And listen, Bayern Munich are a top club, 100%. They're easily one of the, they're the champions of Europe, for God's sake. I mean, of course, they're going to be front runners for him, especially the fact that they're very aggressive in the pursuit of him. However, if Chelsea is able to persuade him with the project that we have, the fact that we play in the Premier League, the fact that we're on our way to become one of the most elite, clubs in Europe. We've got a German manager. We've got some German players here as well. We've got a world-class squad. We've got one of the most talented squads in Europe. So I think Chelsea definitely with him for a chance. But don't mistake it. We are not first choice. We are not leading the race for Upamecano. At the moment, it's interest. At the moment, it's the fact that Chelsea will be in for him in the summer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we will actually end up signing Upamecano. But let's get on to the final story of this video. And I'm going to be reading out Thomas Tuchel's quotes on Kai Havertz, which came out in a press conference a couple of days ago. What he was stating and what he was speaking out on Kai Havertz. He was saying that what I feel from him is a very friendly, intelligent and an open guy with a lot of potential, and we will push him. He seems to be like that guy that needs to be pushed. We will not stop it. For him, this league is perfect because he cannot rest. He has so much potential that he has to be challenged physically also. It is not enough that he can rely on his endless talents. In the end, the question is, does he have this? Can he show his teeth in the end when it gets tough? And I'm very happy on Wednesday. It was him that did almost a decisive header in the box against all the towers from Wolverhampton. It would be nice, it would have been a nice goal, but he did not hesitate, and that is what I want to see from him. The rest will come because Kai can be a huge part of this club. Now, listen, Thomas Tuchel knows ball. Thomas Tuchel knows exactly what he's speaking about there. He said the right things. Kai Havertz has fantastic attributes. He's a world-class player with simply generational talent. His elegance, his intelligence, his IQ, his physicality, his the fact that he's got so many goals and assists, his eye for a goal. Very intelligent IQ as well. He's very press resistant, good on the ball, good at dribbling. But he's come into a league where it's very physical, very hard, and he has to adapt and bulk up. He's not the biggest lad. He's 6'2", my height, but he's got the same build as me. He's not stocky, he's not chunky. And Hazard had the same problem when he came here. When he came here, he'd get bullied off the ball a lot because he was very small but a very agile player. I think Havertz is different stylistically and different on the characteristics, but similar in the sense that they're both quite lightweight. I think Havertz needs to bulk up and he needs to adapt to the physicality, and simply he hasn't. He's been struck with long COVID. He's had some certain issues and situations that hasn't gone his way, But this is where he has to develop now. He's got the right coach, the right management, the right environment to succeed and be the best. And listen, I love, you know, Tuchel's terminology, the fact he's saying, you know, against all the towels from Southampton. You know, he's brave. He is a brave lad. You know, he wants to succeed at Chelsea, but it's a matter of time, giving him time to adapt and essentially reach his potential. And I think that Kai Havertz will get there. As I said, he's world class. He's got generational talent, and he will be one of our best players in the coming future. He's got a massive future here, and it really is a case of giving him time. But I believe that Thomas Tuchel will you know, get the best out of Kai Havertz, will eventually fix him to be that world-class player that we all know that he is, and reach those talented heights. So we'll have to wait and see. But if you did enjoy this video, do smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.